A new Illinois basketball player getting some individual love from their head coach, Brad Underwood, at Big Ten Media Day. First time that I've heard some serious praise for Jake Davis. Last year, a freshman role player for the Illini, but good shooter off the bench. This year, possibly something much more if you agree or if you buy what Brad Underwood is saying at the podium yesterday. Here's the full quote from Brad. He said, quote, on Jake Davis, you'd be hard pressed to find a better shooter in the Big Ten than him. Jake is an elite shooter. I can see him having a tremendous role. He's going to play a lot. End quote. Brad went on to say that Jake Davis has improved as a ball handler. He's a better defender. And that the NOAA system, if you're unfamiliar with that, it's a shooting system that a lot of programs have adopted this summer. Kentucky has used it and published NOAA shooting numbers a lot. Brad says that Jake Davis's NOAA numbers are in the 99th percentile compared to NBA players. If you buy these stories, this could mean big things for Jake Davis this season. Are you buying that Jake Davis is primed for a breakout year?
I'm always hesitant on. Now, actually, let me ask this. This NOAA system, is it tracking like in practice scrimmage things? Is this like, or is this like by yourself shooting like on the gun?
Noah, I don't know if there's a set way they have to use it. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
the Noah system is basically just a tracker as every ball goes through the rim that goes on to tell you like, are you making it in the sweet spot? Are you making it like a make could be counted as a miss in the Noah system because you need to make it in the quote unquote splash zone.
got you, got you. And it's named after Trent Noah, correct?
That's what they want us to believe in BBN, yeah.
Okay, so look, I don't doubt this whatsoever. Um, I do think that Jake Davis is a great shooter, and I think that, in our time and in my experience, there are a lot of guys. I'm always hesitant when doing this thing because I've seen guys in the world that have been the most lights out practice shooters or this setting shooters of all time. And then when the lights get bright or it's in a game, it just never actually translates. And it's sometimes not their fault. Sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles. But I don't know. When you look at this, I think one thing Brad's doing here is when you look at this Illinois roster, given kind of how it's a little bit discombobulated right now, given like guys are out, don't necessarily know what's up with Mahalo, not really sure like when Stojakovic is for sure coming back. If Vicious has a tonsil surgery, like they might need Jake Davis to play. And if he's going to play, he needs to knock down shots. Otherwise, I don't really see the value out of Jake Davis, even though he's low key like an underrated offensive rebound guy. At least for my eye test, I feel like he is. But yeah, he's a guy that they're gonna. If he needs to play, he needs to knock down shots. Otherwise, it's not really necessarily a point of him being out there.
So from January on last season, Jake Davis had a pretty serious role on this team, right? He played. He was in double figures. I want to say like 75% of their games from January on, once conference play started. And part of that was due to the ins and outs, guys getting hurt, sick, leaving the lineup. We know there was a lot of attrition last year, but he gave them good minutes at times. He made shots for this team. I think he did not provide a ton defensively, really, and he didn't shoot it as good as he could. Right, he was only a 34% shooter, but he's better than that. I think he's capable. I did pull something just because I was curious how it went when Jake Davis played serious minutes for Illinois. I drew the cutoff line. It felt like the middle of his range of minutes was around 12 minutes. So last year, from January on, when Jake Davis played 12 or more minutes for Illinois. Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2 year old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that, but honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy. Love his wife. Love Clara Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more. The team went 4-6. When Jake Davis played less than 12 minutes, the team went 9-4. Now, most of those are Big Ten games or the NCAA tournament games. Um, but for the most part, like, I don't think there's a correlation to more Jake Davis meaning good things for Illinois. Now, again, it's not Jake's fault. Not saying like his 12 minutes were terrible and that's why he lost games. But if the team didn't need their like ninth, 10th role player guy playing because Will Riley was good and Ben Rickhouse was playing well and Trey White wasn't in the doghouse, the high major caliber players usually played and it meant good things for Illinois basketball. When they needed more from Jake Davis, to me, that meant they were lacking those things and the team was in a really tough spot. So the question for me is, on this year's team, is Jake Davis going to earn a bigger role because he's changed his game and who he is and gotten a lot better? I mean, Brad wants us to buy the ball handling's better and the defense is better. If I was an Illinois player or an Illinois fan, excuse me, I would love to hear that the defense is improved. I don't want Jake Davis to dribble ever. So it's a little ominous to me. It's the first we're hearing of Jake Davis in a big role. Hasn't really been brought up much this summer until now. So again, maybe it's kind of the break glass in case of emergency. Andre's out, and suddenly Jake Davis is going to play more than we think. But to me, it would not be a huge, great sign for Illinois if Jake Davis is in a pretty serious role on this team.
Yeah, and so I could be completely off here. If Keaton Wagler is what we think he is and what we want him to be, doesn't that kind of diminish what Jake Davis can do,
I
or
think
just
so.
different?
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
that's how I feel about it too.
Can I go back to one of my favorite things to do whenever we are talking about like a role player like this?
Would
Ken Pom player comps.
ah,
Ken Pom player comps.
it's been a minute. Is this the first one of the year?
First one of October, at least.
All right.
So Jake Davis, last season, the most similar statistical seasons in the history of the Ken Pom database. There's some fun names on this list for you. Adrian Nunez at Michigan. Joey Baker. Pierre Brooks. These are players you and I are well familiar with from our teams. Card, any of those guys I named, was it good when they had to play big minutes for your team?
No.
Because they were a defensive liability, stand in the corner, just a shooter guy that shot 34% instead of 40%.
Yeah, shooter that did knock down shots and did nothing else.
That's a really, really awful archetype to try and win games with.
Yes.
Now, one positive thing, I think he can shoot better than 34%. But he's got to
What
do it. So it's good to hear that he's doing it in practice.
what did he shoot at? Was he at Campbell before?
41% at Mercer.
Mercer, that's what it was.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I think he's a better shooter than 34%, but like you know, I think Brad, to his point, or just our point, honestly, he's not knocking down shots, you just don't play him.
Have you noticed the thing where this isn't just Brad Underwood's every coach in the country, but whoever their best shooter is the best shooter in the country?
Best shooter in the country and elite on the NOAA.
Like we can't just be like, oh man, he's making shots. He's our best shooter. It's like you would really struggle finding a better shooter than him. Probably some guys I could find that might like Fletcher Lawyer's probably a better shooter than Jake
To
Davis.
which I would say, no, it's not.
I don't think we have to look that far to find like a couple guys that are better than the 34% guy from last year.
I'd also make an argument that there's probably a better three-point shooter currently on your team.
Who's that? Because last year no one shot it well, man.
I would love to see Rickhouse and Jake Davis go band for band in a shooting contest.
Yeah, give us like a 3-point shootout preseason. That'd be fun.
When is like oh, is it like Champagne Chaos or something? Like what they got?
Champagne poetry.
Yeah, like State Farm Hysteria. Like what's
If they did an opening night called Champagne Poetry, that would go crazy.
facts? And they you think they're playing basketball, it's actually just every member of the team doing slam poetry.
It's just Andres Stojakovic like in a robe by a fireplace reading.